crazy, like the Joker. But okay, so with the game, right? Like, because you can only either use an account that you have to be working with a really good social media person to zero out your account if you want it to come from your own name, but have no followers or no thing, so it looks crazy. But it's like that's a whole different thing. That depends on your social media team. That's one area, but then you can actually evolve and then use somebody else that's a real person, and then if you can get into their heads, and then try to see, I'm like, oh, who's this person that's trying, but you can't be, when it's too obvious, right? That's a real person, that's a good guy, right? Right? And then he plays, so who was playing him, obviously, with the Snoop thing. Oh, shit, I thought it was... So he could, right? And then that's for that, because that tied back in, right? So then that goes, so again, you can pick a character, right? I don't know that guy at all, but online he seems cool, seems right, whatever. Just that's, and then that's that game, right? But then that comes in, and then that goes to the points, right? Snoop, but then it comes back because it's the Heathens thing with the Will Smith thing, just to prove that we're really promoting this movie, right? That comes out on August 4th that nobody pays the bill for their promotions. So it's really a game of nobody actually ever paying anybody any money, just lying about it, right? Or making up random figures. Isn't that the game? Oh yeah, I told him I was more gangster though, because in the game in Matrix, obviously I'm richer, right, than everybody, and so because you got to be the richest, but you have to be the most gangster. So if he wanted to choose most gangster, that's already taken, so he can't have that, right? But if he's representing Snoop, then that means Snoop can't be the most gangster. Then I had to be the most gangster, right? Because I had to kill your character, right? And then that's how that came back around. So then you have to pick a new character. Maybe you have to be a girl. The Lady War thing, girls want to go into the game in a different way, right? So then that's how it goes. Those post-its are ready to go into the envelopes because they want to get out. The ladies don't like to stay around very long. They're fucking in and out, right? So they're like, okay, give me my mission, see ya. And then they're out, so they're good to go, they're in. Especially because if we're going to be sending it to churches and shit and up in this fucking situation. And finding the addresses for the Satan churches, probably because those aren't properly recognized yet because, well, look, come on, guys. So instead, we're going to go with the regular churches. We're going to do New Brunswick because they're still back in time racist, sexist. I think they're not. So we'll get them kind of going, and then they'll be confused with the letter obviously saying a media challenge. So I guess in a way, now we're at the part because we're back to the science versus God thing. So let's say media's aliens. Does that make sense? Because technology that needs to be used, you'd have to be adapted. But that's old school, new school. But we're going to lump it all together today, the aliens. And then we'll go back to the God thing. So we'll see how they do with getting the information. Because what we're really trying to do at the core of all this is who's going to actually step up and help, right? Versus just sitting there praying for somebody. Are you going to actually step up and do something? Or, right, to make a change in this world for real. So that's where it goes back to. This is a real, genuine world self-help challenge. I know I've been working my ass off and I'm trying to save as many people's lives as possible. That's the real thing. So are you really on that team or are you on the bullshit talk team? Because I can't deal with those people. This mess is that probably, I don't know, it's a science experiment, but at this point you guys can track it better than me anyway. You let me know later. If we were to send these crazy letters, right, with a bunch of random shit, to the news, okay, you can get they're curious about stuff, so oh my god, the States to Canada, what that difference would be, that's a good test. But also the testing, okay, then to the religious believers, how that would be. But I bet you the white people church reactions to I bet you, the craziness with the mixed messages, I bet you the Buddhists and the Islams, the Islamic fucking researchers would take it more seriously. They'd be like, that shit makes more sense, right? Because that's crazy and whatever understanding the science is. The white people that I think will fall short. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Special one from Rob Ford to Doug Ford because Rob's always around and he's not getting out of this rehab group until Canada gets their shit together, right? So he's banking on you with that. And then that you're getting the letter, but Justin, you better be doing something. I know we got this bubble thing going with this American situation, but we got to do some better work because Canada's sucking right now. She just wants to know, Emily Rose, if you guys are going to take her seriously or not yet. Shame on you doctors. Shame on the churches. Shame on scientists. Shame on the world leaders. Shame on the politicians. Shame on so many people. She's just crazy. Worth $100 billion yet? This social media course that we're trying to work on to get people to understand the difference with the privacy thing and then freaking out about Facebook and always up Zuckerberg's ass. Have we, do you guys fucking understand it yet? Are you gonna back the fuck off yet? Because if you haven't figured out, I'm on his side. And all you fuckers that went against him with all this bullshit too are gonna have a problem. Because of your ignorance. I'm not a judger of age stuff, right? Because like with relationships, that part doesn't freak me out. It's energy I feel from people. So when I saw Princess Diana's niece with that guy, the energy like from him was so evil and bad. I was like, that's bad. Like it's just, it comes through the phone like a sickness. I'm like, ugh. It has nothing to do with their age difference but he's a sick pervert type and she's not getting herself in a good situation. I'm going to stereotype and judge, but I read energy. That's how quickly I do it. On the Shark Tank thing, Richard, I thought that was something you did, but maybe that got mixed up because you owe me money too, right? For all those plugs. At least I don't think he pays his bills either. I bet you he doesn't pay his taxes. I bet you he doesn't. These fucking billionaires and none of them paying their fucking taxes. Work because Rosa Parks came right in, and then that obviously Oprah's always around anyways, and then took that. Kind of reminds me of, like I said, I can't even imagine dealing with that bullshit. Like that's sick injustice that people would ever look at somebody's skin color and tell them where to sit. The only I went to an all-girls school, and they tried just based on grades tried to I went and sat near the back of the bus. And some bitch was trying to tell me where I had to move, so I obviously got in a fight. I got kicked out of that. Wow. Yeah, it didn't work out well, that school. And they did the same thing in the cafeteria, so that was another fight. If you want to be a mad scientist, you got to get these people that are in that AA fucking program, right? You got to get them off of that and into the real game. So you got to trigger all that. That's your challenge now, right? Because we don't believe in that bullshit fucking people that are shitting on Lizzo for oh my god, she's getting creepy. They're not in the club because they don't know, right? Because I've already made up a whole bunch of shit myself with all these relationships. Look at all the shit Jim and I have gone through, right? And we fucking never even talked or met. So I get it. Chris has a good sense of humor, he's in. These fucking people, because they're so small-minded and they're stupid and they don't know how the fucking thing works. They're fucked up.